bullish call coming in there, and clearly you have Rakesh as well as Mitul, which are giving the stock a big thumbs up, currently at about 1,517. Jay, it's not pharma, but it's another stock that you picked out. Oil and gas, deep industries, what's the word coming in here? How do you see it performing on the charts?
Basically, last week what we have observed is that deep industries has formed a good reversal by giving a breakout from a downtrend line which was formed. That consolidation was formed in its wave 4, and now the wave 5 on the upside has already resumed, and the extension on the upside has already started. I expect that in this extension, deep industries will inch towards the levels of 178, whereas 152.90, that is somewhere around below yesterday's swing low. I think one can place a stop loss below those levels and expect 178, which will provide a good risk for the the one on the long side. And second one would be on the bank nifty, which I think that is still trading below the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders pattern. But I think that once this consolidation is over, bank nifty is just going to zoom towards the levels of 18,200 to 300 in the immediate basis. However, for the stock game, I've placed a target of 17,630, which is just near the neckline resistance of the inverse head and shoulders pattern. On the downside, 17,070 is a very good support for bank nifty futures. I don't expect it to break in fact below the levels of 17,100, because that's the support of the falling channel which we have been observing right now on the hourly charts. So it's again a good risk reward for the short term traders on bank nifty futures, and above 17,640 levels, 40 to 50 levels, I think the medium term traders can also initiate the buy long calls for a target of 18,300.
Jay, that's exactly the point I want to flag off, that given the kind of stance that we've seen from the RBI, a lot of the banks have gone ahead and taken the move, bitten the bullet, slashed base rates. SBI started the ball rolling, and then you have the latest to be Kotak Mahindra Bank by about 25 bips. Yes Bank as well, just a couple of minutes ago. Just take us through your view on how you see some of the banks shaping up individually on the charts, and is there anything that catches your eye from a slightly longer term perspective as well? We're not just talking trading plays.
Sure, Avan. Basically, what I've observed is that for the longer term, among the private sector banks, we like ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and Yes Bank. These banks have good impulse move right from the bottom of 2013, and wherever we see this kind of an impulse pattern, that is a 5-wave rising structure, Avan, generally we see that those stocks perform well in the long term. So these are the 3 stocks in the private sector banking space where I think one can initiate the buy positions at the current market price, because those have corrected a lot. And among the PSU banks, there are only 3 stocks, Avan, which we track quite closely. That is Bank of Baroda, PNB and SBI, which have this kind of an impulse pattern on the daily as well as the weekly charts. Keeping aside these 3 stocks, we haven't seen any impulse pattern form in the mid-sized PSU bank. So I would like to avoid mid-sized PSU banks still, and we would not recommend those stocks. But yes, BOB, PNB and SBI among the PSU banks, and ICICI, Axis and Yes Bank in the private sector looks really good.
That's the word coming in on how exactly one should be approaching the private banking space. Lots of names for the long term as well. That's what Jay has flagged off. In fact, just let's take a look as to what the bank nifty is up to at this point in time. It has been laying low for quite some time, but the market is picking up a little bit of steam, and that could perhaps be attributed to what's happening with the bank nifty futures, just about broken into the green. Remember, our technical experts are talking about targets of close to 18,000 on the bank nifty futures. But pull up the 7-day chart and you'll understand what exactly I'm talking about. While the frontline index has been seeing a lot more activity, the 7-day chart of the bank nifty futures will show you how choppy it's been, and down by about 1.5% or so. 282 points is what the bank nifty futures has lost out. But what's going on with the rest of the market? Well, the broader end too has picked up. Remember, it didn't dip into the red. Quite a bit of outperformance is what you're seeing. Now up by about 0.5% for the mid-cap index, while the small-cap index holds out in the green by about 0.33%. There are quite a few interesting movers. In fact, I'd like to flag off what a Bharti Infratel is up to. That counter is close to the day's high as we speak, and it's holding out very well. It's clearly a buzzing stock in trade. The other one is Jubilant Foodworks. That too is currently at about 1668, looking fairly strong. Torrent Power is the other one that's fairly active in trades right now. You also have the likes of a Bharat Forge, by the way. That stock is at a 4-day high. It's holding out very well in trades today, and Bharat Forge is at about 929. Remember, dealing rooms are also indicating that the selling pressure that we've seen so far is abating and coming to an end. The other one is Atul Limited. It's a buzzing stock in trades today, doing fairly well right now. Monsanto is the other one that's at about 2,682. So clearly seeing quite a bit of outperformance. And there you have it. After Bank of India, SBI from the PSU banking lot, it's BOB which has gone ahead. And they have cut some term deposit rates of the bank by about 20 to 25 basis points. So this not entirely surprising. A lot of experts that we've been interacting with, a lot of prominent voices from the banking space were talking about concerns as to how you don't really see an immediate transmission when the RBI goes ahead and undertakes a rate cut, but you have a lot of banks which have been following through with rate cuts today itself. This is the third bank, BOB, 20 to 25 basis points. Don't really know from when it's going to be effective, but some of the term deposit rates have been cut. As we speak, the stock is at 182. Let's get a glimpse of the calculators as well. How's each of our experts doing? Because remember, on account of it being a truncated week, today is the last and final day of the stock game. There you have it, Rakesh Bansal. I don't think he's complaining whatsoever because he's making some pretty stellar gains across the board. In fact, it's 2% plus on 3 of the names barring the Bank Nifty futures. 3.8% right now. That's 19,200 rupees. So great going for Rakesh. Mitul Shah, they're up next. He's got 4 buy recommendations and he too is having a pretty stellar day despite the choppiness in the markets. So he's making some gains across the board and particularly on Ajanta Pharma. 14,400, that's accumulated to about 2.9% as we speak. We have Jay Thakkar as well in a very similar strategy, gone long on all 4 stocks and he too is making gains. Well, barring the Bank Nifty, he's gaining across the board. But remember, the gains and losses are calculated from day one on account of which we're seeing this. So off by about 1/3%, he's losing out 1,500 rupees.
Business outlook is turning better. Expectations have moderated and stock prices have corrected. This is a sweet spot for value investing in India. As I unravel my value investing philosophy and the outlook, join me, Nilesh Shah, on Market Makers, only on ET Now.
Okay, that's the word coming in on the calculators. Right back to the stock game then. Rakesh, let's discuss your recommendation. I'm spotting quite a few similar picks. You too have got a Siemens and, Mitul was talking about how it has been a stock that has done fairly well of late. So you too are jumping on the bandwagon. What are the levels that you're mapping here?
Well, Siemens is having an excellent bullish structure. If you see, after announcing the last quarter results, we have seen a correction in this stock, and I feel that correction is clearly over. Now, stock is on a journey towards its new highs, and I feel we are likely to see a new lifetime high in Siemens by Diwali. It's an excellent delivery buy, and from the trading perspective also, it's a good buy at current levels. On the downside, I feel 1288, 1290 is an excellent support. One should place a stop loss at 1288 levels, and from the trading perspective, one can place a stop loss at 1390. One can buy for a target price of 1390 on a upside. And one more thing, as you were talking about, we are seeing a rate cuts, and which are the banking stocks one should buy from the investment point of view. And if you see, I feel like IndusInd Bank might be the first private sector bank, or might be the first bank which will make a new lifetime high. IndusInd Bank has not corrected, and similar is the case with the HDFC Bank. It's coming out of an excellent accumulation from the lower levels, and I feel among the rate sensitives, HDFC Bank and IndusInd Bank are an excellent delivery buy at current levels.
Okay, that's the call coming in, talking about the banking space as well as the call on Siemens and how one should be approaching that. By the way, the stock is currently at the day's high as we speak. It's a 2% up move and it's clasped above the 1350 mark as we speak, trading at 1352. Moving right on then, Mitul, time to nail it down to the last and final pick. And what is it that you've got? A Bombay Burma looking a little bit flat today. What's the rationale?
If you see Bombay Burma BBTC, it was in 1.4 for the last 1.5 months. It was trading in a range, and yesterday it has given a good breakout. If the follow through comes, it is likely to make a new high, and we can see at least upside of 20 to 25%. It's an excellent delivery based call, and the stop loss is 472.50, and the target for the show is 510. But one can expect a much higher level if the follow through comes and if the stop loss sustain.
Okay, that's the word coming in on Bombay Burma. 482 is where the counter is currently placed at. Nonetheless, let's take time out then to thank all of our experts for joining in on this leg of the stock game. Rakesh, Mitul as well as Jay, it's been great having you with us on the show. And on that note, we're completely timed out right here on the show. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Market Sense.
For the next 6 months, I'm talking, it would mean impact on our net profit after tax of about 1,000 crore.
Hoping that if the formalities and approvals are in place, then the plant should become operational in a month's time.
India's fast-growing economy is changing the lives of millions. We are traveling the length and breadth of India to give you an opportunity to participate in its growth story. NSE Investor Protection Fund Trust presents Nivesh India, an ET Now initiative, a unique knowledge forum educating investors on how to invest in equity. Coimbatore. Here is your opportunity to understand how to invest in equities and make informed investment decisions. On Saturday, the 3rd of October, at Zone The Park, Coimbatore. To participate in the Nivesh India initiative, call us on 022-67833808 or email us at etnow@dnbindia.in. Come invest in equities.
Presented by NSE Investor Protection Fund Trust.
It was really exciting to be part of the first such award that the ET's come up with. We had a very, very diverse jury group, and so there were a lot of robust conversation. There are plenty of categories which allows us to uncover or discover gems which are out there, whether they are very innovative or women entrepreneurs. Or I'm looking for ideas which are going to have a big impact. It's going to be changing something for people in their lives. It should be disruptive.
आपके पास हो गया मैडम? और पानी ढोना, चाट डालो ना भैया। स्वाद वसूल ले, अरे मजे तू खुल के लूट ले, एक धुन में पूरा जश्न। नहीं यार, 5 मिनट पड़े 11 बनने में। तेरे भाई की शादी दोबारा थोड़ी होगी। वसूल ले।
क्योंकि आपको चाहिए लाइफ में फुल वसूली, इसीलिए यूनिनॉर अब बन गया है टेलीनॉर, जो देगा आपको सबसे सस्ते कॉल्स, इंटरनेट और बेहतर सर्विसेज। टेलीनॉर, लाइफ फुल पैसा वसूल।
Headache fittings make your furniture work beautifully.
This is the kind of wardrobe I always wanted. Fantastic. A delight to use. A gentle push and everything I need is right at my fingertips. It's true. A tidy house makes for a tidy mind. Now I'm free to concentrate on what matters the most.
Headache fittings. German quality you can trust.
पप्पू एक सॉलिड हीरो है, समझे सबको ये जीरो है। पप्पू की जीन्स कमाल है, पप्पू की वॉच कमाल, पर पप्पू सुन नहीं सकता। क्यों बहरा है? हथेली पे जान है, कानों में हेडफोन ऑन है। पप्पू था एक सॉलिड हीरो।
पप्पू ना बने। सड़क पर चलते समय मोबाइल और हेडफोन्स का प्रयोग ना करें। सड़क नियमों का पालन करें। जिंदगी आपकी है, सोचना आपको है।
When your instincts evolve, risks will be taken. And you can have a crack at predicting the future. That's a lasting market trend in the resource sector. When you bet on hot commodities, the risk pays off. I pick them early for your huge gains. Track the fundamentals on hot commodities only on ET Now.
Presented by MCX.
I have not seen this kind of startup boom in the last 20 years of my career. If they've got a good idea, I'm sure that getting capital is not a problem today. The parameter I'm looking at today is the idea scalable? The biggest challenge is that can they get right kind of people and are they committed to make it successful? I think the commitment and passion other than the great idea are very important.